did the knee cut. I own the inside space here, right? Typically, they're gonna start looking for a knee shield or to try to wrestle up on a underhook. This underhook is what I want, okay? Now, I wanna have my knee through. If you're long, maybe you can look for it from here, all right? But I don't have long arms, and the thing is I'm trying to get to his head. Notice how I'm keeping this right hand on his hip the whole time. So even if he has this knee shield, I'm not gonna worry too much about beating the knee shield. I just wanna maintain inside control. I make sure I can pop his knee over and I just stay here. I wanna bring my knee up, all right? I can be in this knee cut position or I can drop my knee down, all right? He looks for an underhook because that's what he should do. He's not stupid. I have to keep this hand on the hip here. Because if I don't block it and he gets his underhook, he builds up with his underhook, and now he's too close for me to get the choke. All right? I have to manage a distance. So, as he looks for that underhook, I can keep him back a little bit. Does that make sense? From here, as he starts to build up a little bit, I can manage the distance. My outside arm is gonna go over his head and get a chin strap. Nothing says respect me like a good chin strap, all right? Because with this, I can just torque his head a little bit. You know, I'm not wrenching it hard, but by making his chin turn, he doesn't have as much structure. It's hard for him to do much, okay? From here, I'm not going to fall to my hip. This hip, no way, Jose. Chin strap, my hand that is an overhook grabs my own hand, or I can just ride the elbow. I don't care. I want to make sure the most important part is that I don't lose this elbow. All right. If he gets it too deep, or if he ends up bringing his elbow back to his body, it's going to be hard to get this choke. I want to make sure I have the space between his armpit and his neck. Here, I like to connect my hands. All right. Or I can grab my wrist. I'm just grabbing the meat of my hand. From here, I'm gonna lift my hips high and go to my shoulder. Here. Don't fall sideways. They're just gonna sweep you. So I keep my hips high, I'm over my shoulder. Alright? From here, now that I'm on my shoulder, I can free my leg, just holding onto it, free it, and I'm gonna roll to this north-south like position. Alright? From here, I can now start to get my legs involved. My top leg, I'm trying to make sure I control his elbow. I want to keep it open up here the whole time. All right. Connect my hands. Right now, remember it's a head and arm. Right now, I need this arm to come deeper, my bottom arm. So I've gone here. I start to cuddle back. I'm going to pull my arm through. Pull my arm through. From here, I make a rear naked grip. My hand goes on my bicep, back here. And I'm going to cuddle into it. I'm going to try to get my leg over his arm, to really bring his arm into his shoulder, into his thigh. And it's not much of a squeeze. See it, Charlie, if I may? Actually, yeah, I can do this too. You got it. Go through it again one more time. Would you prefer me doing it?
This side.
Yeah.
Please.
Now here we are in this knee cut. He starts to look for this underhook. I stay based here, not letting him build up. Whether I have my knee down with his foot out, I'm not too concerned about that. I just don't want my feet close because now we can sweep. I have a good base. Reach over, find my chin strap. All right. Connect my hands as I go to my shoulder. Keep my hips high. And roll over. See how this elbow is still up here? That's where we need it. If he brings his elbow down, no choke. I cuddle back in and start. See how I use my leg to pull his elbow over his arm. I want him looking like he's asking a question in elementary school. I have a question. Why am I choking? All right, you can even grab this here. As long as you're owning this space. I pull my hand deeper. set up my rear naked grip, and I start cuddling in towards the hips. I'm walking with my hips inwards. All right? I'm not, if you just try to squeeze, you're gonna get tired out. The choke happens because everything's being crunched like this. All right? Do we understand? Do we need to see it one more time? Yeah, cool. Can I use Brent?